What's up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing a video up at that cemetery, since all y'all been like, you need to go up to that cemetery and look at it. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm actually going down to pick up Clinton right now, so he's coming with me. He might know if you have some history about it, so let's go get him. But if you ain't already, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way you know where the next video comes out. And with that, let's get going. Alright guys, so we gotta make it up this hill through all this. Clinton's with us, and it looks like somebody's pulling in my holler. Huh. Yeah, so right where the Jeep's sitting at right now, this is where the barn used to be. And right over there is where the house used to sit. We used to have all this cleared out. Somebody came in with the bush hog and cleared it out, but that was, yeah, it was about the beginning of the year, so we're just go ahead and start walking this trail right here. Alright guys, so we're just now making it to the cemetery. That was a bad hike, but see, I couldn't really make it out. It says Father J.M. Pigman.
1848 to 1936. Now, if the wife's name is Nancy, dying about 1917, this is the man.
I see 1917 right there.
Get this yucca plant out of the way. It is her. He's born 1845 to 1917. This is...
So this is the first sheriff of Knott County.
Yes, it is.
All right, on. Now see, this is what I was talking about. The footstones are behind the graves. So yeah, this is the graves of the first sheriffs Knott County had.
Knott County,
the first sheriff, what his full name was, what?
His full name was James Madison Pigman.
James Madison Pigman. So that's pretty cool. And this is on my property, and I didn't know it was on here. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And this is the wife, Nancy. So I'm taking it these are the girls?
We'll look at the stones and find out.
Okay.
Alright, the compass, if it's right, this is west and east. Now usually, certain family traditions, when they buried their dead, especially here in eastern Kentucky, they would like to point the body towards the east. But I can kind of see they got it along that line, but they pointed him towards west.
And that's how all these are.
Yeah. That, and also, you don't want to bury your dead when you're putting them on mountaintops. You don't want to do it up and down.
Yes, hill slides, they slide off.
Yeah, they'll just slide off. So they want to lay their bodies like almost in a plateau.
Yeah.
Keep going up, and that it makes like a stairway effect, but they're not going to slip off near as easy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, which there is one. Where you at? There you are. One marker. Old marker up here.
Okay, let's find it.
Right there. Ida.
Yep.
Sutton. And somebody's been hunting up here. Squirrel hunting's probably.
Ida Sutton.
Sutton.
Now, there was James Madison had a daughter named Ida Pigman.
What I'd say that's the one. Is that the one that moved out? Or I say she got married.
I don't know, but where she's Sutton, she more than likely got married.
I say she just got married.
Yeah. Let's see if it's sometimes.
See, that's the grave I was interested in, because it's all, as you can see.
Yeah.
That's just a concrete handmade one.
It is. Someone knew she was up here, and she needed a marker, so they made her one. Born and deceased 1879 to 1966, loved by everyone.
There you go.
Ida. Okay, let's see who another. Now, if that is Ida Pigman, that is a daughter.
I can't make that out. Viva Pigman? Viva?
There's no more. Yeah, Viva Pigman.
That's 1911 and 1934. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a baby.
Yeah.
Let's see. 1934. I'm thinking it's a baby.
It's about teens, I think.
23.
20, yeah.
But look how close this.
No, right there.
Okay. So the bodies are going.
Yeah,
that way
okay.
Along with James Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the other foot marker.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. What I was talking about, like when I first saw these types of tombstones here, I was like way out in the distance. And I was like, oh man, somebody's broke the top off of them.
Yeah. Frances Pigman.
Frances.
Yep. That's definitely a daughter of James Madison.
Frances? That's a guy's name.
It's a daughter.
Oh, okay.
She's marked as a girl on that paperwork.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's definitely a daughter. So that is the first sheriff of Knott County.
Well, that's wild, boys.
So let's see who else is up here. Nothing I could find. Don't mean it's out there. Nothing I could find showed what exactly James Madison's career was like, where he was the first sheriff. But this county here in Knott has also suffered from at least 2 courthouse fires.
Good point, yeah.
Now what I do know is that during Knott County's initial creation, there were a lot of I call them troublemakers, but they were typically feudists. There were feuds happening during the time. Names such as Devil John Wright and Bad Tot Hall. I think there was one account of them actually running through the new town of Hyman. I'm not sure the reason why was, but they were hooting and hollering and shooting their pistols up in the air. So I say James Madison had his hands full for the initial few days. There are also names such as Bad Tom Smith. He's actually buried in the Vico area. A headstone of him. But there was Knott County by no means was. It was generally pretty peaceful, but there's times where there's going to have moments of.
Yeah.
1,000 rod, and we'll see if we can find a few.
Alright. So what it looks like is this cemetery might be a little bit bigger, because back and through there is just shrubbery and stuff. But if you look in the main cemetery, it's nice and somewhat cleared. And it's only even with this tree, and that one up there to that tree. So I'm guessing these big trees are markers on the length of the cemetery.
We're going to assume as much.
And he's going to do some dowsing. That's male, right?
James Madison, yep.
Alright, so it just crossed, so that's him. I'm assuming some of these is tombs that slipped down from the grave.
There's Nancy.
Yeah, see, there it goes opening up. So that's her.
Now, the name Viva, or Viva, we're going to assume that's probably a female.
Oh, God.
You alright, bud?
Yeah, I just had that shepherd's foot go right in my... Uh-huh.
Yep.
Right, so that's one of the daughters.
Well, I've never heard of the name Viva. It could be someone else.
It could be short. And there's another shepherd's hook.
And Ida was a daughter.
So that should open. Yep.
Now where this is a cemetery, if they kept this line, but if there's another body hidden, it'll be up on this way.
Yeah, it should be like right here.
If it's bigger. Sometimes they didn't get harder than bigger. Not.
Probably not. I don't know why I went, but I feel like you'd probably get something right there. Yeah, right where I said. Yeah, right. Hey, look. That's cleared out and sunk in.
Yeah. We'd have to do a couple passes to make sure, but I say it's probably a male.
Yeah, it crossed, didn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And he might have been married, because judging from the space from Ida
To here.
to here, if he was married, this would have been allotment spaces for kids or his wife, or,
Yeah.
and they moved out.
Yeah. Yep. I bet it stops as soon as you get off that little plateau.
I'm trying to avoid that oil.
Yeah.
There it goes.
No, that's...
So there's a man here buried by himself. I mean, essentially, he's buried away from the pigmans. She should be
right there.
Yep, there she is.
Yep.
Let's go on up the hill.
If you notice, you're getting their hits about maybe a few, like maybe half a foot, a little bit past the...
Pretty man's.
Oh, God.
It was on my arm. I knocked him off. I think it's a prey man. Or a stick bug.
Don't focus on the guy. There you go.
Please be no snakes around this stuff.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Oh.
Across. Yeah, there it goes.
Okay.
So
And look. Right
where that
that one man is.
yeah. Ah, yeah. Boom, boom.
So there's two lines at least, but it was dead space all the way up here. So it's so what I'm having to do is I'm having to shift my thoughts. I mean the dimensions of the cemetery every time we find a new body. Because what we started with was James Madison being the oldest grave in the cemetery. That would assume to be the core of the cemetery, and the cemetery would branch out. But as you put more data into this, and you figure it up more, and you find more bodies up here, it might be that the core of the cemetery could be farther up here, and then this was the outer rim of it.
Yeah.
And these were
so they literally started with them and like, we're gonna go up this way.
Not what it is they actually started up here and went down. They came down the hill. If there's enough bodies to prove that.
Here's the thing, if we... That scared me. I thought there was a snake on my foot. If there's more here, I bet it would stop right there at that tree, because that right there, those trees right there, you'll find in almost any cemetery here.
Because what it is that people might not know it now, but they know a lot of the old timers left the bigger trees around the cemetery to mark it, or to not harm the graves or the stones. So they left them there.
Also, a lot of times they left the bigger trees alone, let them grow over. That way, the tops of the trees blocks out a lot of the sunlight, and a lot of vegetation won't grow.
Hey,
a lot of the time.
I just learned something new there.
Yeah, a lot of times they would leave them alone. That way, you know, as you can see, before they cut a lot of trees out, there's no sunlight getting hit here.
Yeah.
So it didn't grow up as much.
Yeah, you don't have near the underbrush. It actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, I didn't think of that, but it does.
Yeah, a lot of times they would leave big old trees like this. Because see how shady, look, you can see in there. See how shady that is? Once you get past that tree right there, it's nothing.
Into this hall, this high.
No, after you get past that, there's nothing. There's a little bit of blades of grass here and there. But there's so much cover there.
Yeah.
It won't grow up like this. See, this is a year's worth of sunlight and rain hitting it directly.
Yeah.
Because it's been about a year now since they've actually logged all this.
Definitely.
There he is.
Yeah, right in line. Well, there's one man. Let's keep going up. Oh. Pigman line. There's a guy here.
Yeah.
But they were early settlers.
See what? See it? Well, if you, I don't know if you can see it from your end. Do 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 do.
Yeah. High brush.
Yep. And you can see where it humps.
Yep. Let's see if we can. If we hit this hump right here, let's see if we hit another.
I say you'll hit something right there because it's sunk in. Bet you, it's a casket fell in.
Yep, casket.
Because you know, this graveyard's this old.
Nothing but wooden caskets.
Wooden caskets. As all you knew, wood rots. Put it on the ground, it rots quicker. So they fall in. For so many years, you're getting ready to get right inside of it. And you hit a nail.
I mean, I'm probably standing on him.
Yeah, you are. You're in that hole.
I'm right in the hole.
Yep.
As long as I don't have to fall in and shake his hand, I'm okay.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, I don't really want to disturb him. So what's telling me is that this was the natural clearing of the cemetery.
Yep.
Bordered about that tree you pointed out.
Yep.
And they started up way up top here, and they worked down and added bodies till it got to James Madison's time frame, which was the early 1900s.
So these graves are more than likely older, and that's probably why they don't got the tombstones on them.
Well, yeah, because back then the only thing they really had to do was sandstone. There were marble used back then,
but here
it was for higher.
But so, you gotta think here though.
I know Eastern Kentucky, you didn't do marble here. Here's a couple things that's happened is that, or could have happened.
Yeah.
Put it that way. One, they were sandstone here, and they've eroded, gone.
Yeah.
Or two, which is the one I hate dare speak most, but people have been known to go to these cemeteries and they'll just jerk up the stone and toss it to the side because, as you know, this was marketable timber. And
exactly.
Or there could have been plans for a road, because as we...
Yeah.
They could have done that, but I'd rather think that'd be the last thing.
Yeah, yeah.
We're over in this side.
And
we picked up a male and female over here. And we've not even made it to the crest of the hill yet.
So, around about, and you're getting ready to walk into a spider web. Look up.
Right here. I'm too blind.
Right here. But so far, besides them, we've right here. Did you notice something?
What?
We didn't start picking up any graves until we got past that tree and that tree.
Yeah.
So those 4 trees right there, and I'm assuming
probably allotted to the pigmans.
Exactly. So those are those 4 markers. So start from right here to this tree right here and that one.
This was probably a whole nother family.
This is probably an entire different family.
Yep.
So,
or at least a distant kin to them.
Exactly. So we just found 2 cemeteries. It's just one of them's not marked anymore.
Yep. That's what I'm going to say is that this cemetery's lost its original stones, and they've just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
And they added the ones on down there which they knew. And it was their family cemetery. So that's what I'm going to say. And the only way you could probably figure out, or even come close to figure out who was here, was you would have to look at the records, and you would have to, probably best way to do it is you would look at when like James Madison was younger and living within this area, and then you would see who his neighbors were. The oldest neighbors, and you'd have to track down each neighbor, see where there's at, and if any of them's missing, then you'd research on more and find, say, well, Billy Joe or John Doe was Billy Joe was buried somewhere in the mouth of this location.
Yeah,
and then the cemetery's here, so that's where you would probably expect them to be at.
Exactly. Also, if y'all are new to the channel and wondering how we know that there's more people buried here, if I could find which video, me and you've done a couple of videos doing this.
Yeah.
We using dowsing rods, and if y'all don't know what this is,
that's what they are.
That's pretty much what they look like. And if
I swear I'm not trying to lie to you people. All this is coat rack wire and pin tubes.
Exactly. So if y'all are wondering how that actually works, I'll leave. Oh yeah, I learned how to actually leave videos suggesting stuff that I've done in the video. So at the end of the video, I'll post a video or a segment of a video of that we've done these dowsing rods with, and we've explained it all. So go and watch that, and yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
Yep.
Needless to say, when you stand over a grave that's a male, they'll cross, and when you stand over a female's grave, they'll open up.
Yep.
And I was skeptic at first. I made me a pair of that, and it pretty wild. It's spot on.
Yeah, it's you wouldn't be you'd be kind of shocked. I was also too. I didn't believe it. I said that's a bunch of manure. I didn't believe it at all. And then when I first learned about it, I literally took these out to a cemetery that no one had messed with. I know there was no wires or anything that could be cheated, and I tried them myself and they worked. I mean, it was pretty awesome. So make you a pair. Yeah. If you don't believe us, make your own pair and bring them somewhere you know.
Yeah, exactly. Also, if you're new to the channel, we're not desecrating the grave. Clinton, explain.
Okay, yeah, we're not desecrating grave. This method I use, a lot of people don't approve of it, and I understand that, because this is a all-purpose, let me rephrase it, this is a flour, a baking flour, that has no sodium in it. And the salt will cause the stone to deteriorate. The only time I use this flour is when I need to read a tough-to-read inscription, or when the stone itself is so deteriorated that it's past that point anyway.
Exactly.
But I'm putting it on this since it is kind of hard to read.
And this way you all can see that beautiful pattern in it. You can see the name clear and the date clear. And and we wash it off, guys. We wash it off, so
yeah, y'all we don't leave this on there because I don't want it to deteriorate the stone.
So y'all don't go flipping out.
I use a regular brush. The rule of thumb with the stone is that if it's safe to brush on your car, it's safe to not hurt your paint, it's safe to brush on stone. So I brush this all off and it's gone, and the next rain comes in, it's never like it ever.
Alright guys, you can put it on now. This is why we're doing this. As you can see, you can barely see the stuff.
Now this might not be exactly hand carved. I'm not sure about the stone techniques they had back in 1917, but you can look at the detail that they literally put into the pedal of that flower.
I think it might have been hand carved because look, each pedal looks a little bit different than the other.
I do know, yeah, it is true. They could have added that. But this style right here, where the letters are embossed outside the stone, I do know that this was the standard or more or less accepted method for a grave marker back in the early 1900s.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you'll see a lot of early 1900s when you had Union vets and you had other vets. They really didn't start doing engraved letters till a bit later.
Yeah.
I mean, you might see it there time to time, but for marble, it was easier to emboss something out than it was to carve something in. But that don't mean you won't see it.
But yeah, as y'all can see, that's the only reason why we're putting this stuff on here, is so we can see everything on it much better, and y'all can actually see the names of everything much better, as you can see. And we clean it off. And as you see, we're cleaning it off.
Yep.
Getting as much of it off as we possibly can. It's starting to rain, so whatever, residue on it's left, it just wash it right off.
Yep.
And it does not hurt the stone at all. But
well, it won't hurt the stone.
Well, it won't. Yeah. Yeah. But guys, This is the Pigman Cemetery, the first sheriff of Knott County, and it's starting to pour the rain, so we're going to leave it off right here. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all already, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. If you got any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comment. And if you like Clinton coming along, leave a like and comment too. So yeah, with that, y'all have a good one.